We are going to do the halo and finishing touches on the smoky eye. You do have a couple different options with your liner. There's a black one and there's a dark chocolate. For anytime that you're doing a really high-end smoky eye, like you're trying to make it look black tie, red carpet, very, very, very complete, you do want to have the eyeliner on hand. What sets apart our liner at XMH from what you can buy at a makeup counter or a store is that it's low irritation. I don't know how they formulated it for us, but it's fantastic. People who say that they have a lot of issues with their eyes watering or redness or irritation, they find that even if they can't use other liners for whatever reason, this liner does not irritate them. So the watering of the eyes is less, the redness and irritation is less, and it stays on longer. This is a waterproof formula. So it is suitable for getting long wear, and it's also suitable for doing tight lining, which is lining the inner rim of your eye, like the waterline, the pink part. I'm going to walk through doing tight lining of the entire waterline, top and bottom. For some of you, if you take a look in the mirror right now and just double check your work, I want you to check on your your upper eyelid space. What I'm looking for is right here, right out here. Does it look skippy to you? Like, does it look like you can see skin through your makeup? It's totally okay if it does. Because right out here, I want you to be taking your liner and we're gonna fill that in and pack in a little bit more color. So if it looks skippy at all, if you can see your eyelid through your makeup, we're gonna fix that. So we'll go in with some liner, we're gonna smudge the liner out, and I'm going to show you the halo technique and a cleanup. All of that gives you really the most finished smoky eye that you can possibly get. You can use black or the dark chocolate, whichever you prefer, whatever you feel like goes with your palette a little bit better. I'm going to line her upper waterline. What that means is I'm going to have Susan follow my finger with your eyes. I'm going to have her look this way, and I'm taking my eyeliner and I'm going underneath her eyelid and painting in liner underneath her lashes on the outer half. If your mirror's in front of your face, I want you to turn your chin away from the mirror, and you're gonna end up having like a bunch of white space right here because you're trying to look at your mirror and it's gonna open up like the white of your eye. If you're lining where the white of your eye is, you won't water as much. When you need to get the outer half of your eye, you're going to turn your face away from your mirror. So you're looking at the mirror. Now you have all this available white out here. So you're going to line out here when you're turned this way. It's helpful if you hold your eyelid sometimes too, so that you're not blinking into your pen. If her mirror was over here, that's opening all this available white space right here, and I can line it without her blinking and like freaking out. Now, look this way with your eye, and that's what's happening when you're turning your face away from your mirror. You're just giving yourself a different focal point. And now I'm going to do the rest of it. So we've got a solid liner all the way across. What difference do you think that that makes? When you look at yourself in the mirror, can you go like, oh, what did that do for my eye? It makes your lashes look thicker. That's the goal, especially on the top waterline. You're putting in a frame around your iris of your eye, and by having a black line on the inside, your actual eye color pops better. And then I want you to pop your chin down a little bit, look into your mirror, and this is helpful to me. I kind of roll, like I put my fingertip underneath my eye and just kind of like roll down a little bit. And you're going to also do your lower lash line. You can blink while you're doing this. It's not going to hurt anything to blink. But it just helps me to roll that skin down just a smidge to give myself better access. This is where you get to customize it and you can decide. If you're a little bit of a newbie with makeup, you do not have to do this step, or if you feel like you don't want your eye to take over your whole face, that's fine. If you love a good smoky eye, I want you to play along for this move. It's optional. I have tight lined top and bottom, and now what I need is I'm gonna line underneath her lashes. So we've lined above her lashes in the waterline. We're gonna take it a little bit lower. And when I say under, I'm actually tracing in between her lashes so that we deposit some color that goes, it's gonna blend underneath her lash line. For those of you who have been around for a hot minute, why are we doing this? Make the lashes look thicker. So I'm literally tracing in between her eyelashes with that pencil, and then we're gonna smoke it out and add some eyeshadow on top for halo. We've got liner in between the lashes on the bottom. If you like a really crisp line, you can sharpen. And then final place that I want to pop some liner, and this is for those babes that if you're looking in the mirror right now and you feel like your outer corner is a little bit skippy, like if you can see your eyelid through your makeup, I want you to add this step. I'm going to go with my eyeliner. I'm going to redeposit some liner right into the lash line. I'm trying to like scribble almost back and forth in between her eyelashes on the outer half of the eye. So if you've got gap, like if you can see skin right there and you don't have enough color deposited, I want you to color in with your liner pencil. And then when we go in and halo, it's going to give you depth, and it's also going to give your eyeshadow something to stick to. We're going to move on to our halo. So we call it the halo because this really finishes out the look. You've got your eyeliner as the base, so you're lining upper and lower waterline. We call that tight lining. You're also scribbling in between your lashes to make them look fuller and thicker and get rid of any gap that you see between your roots of your eyelashes and when your eyeshadow starts. So we've closed the gap on the top. So next, take your precision crease brush and we're gonna go in and smudge. The goal here is that we're going underneath the lash line and we're going back and forth, and we're smudging the eyeliner. Once you've got the bottom smudged out, smudge the top as well. It's that back and forth like eraser motion, and you're just softening the eyeliner. Movement is back and forth underneath the lash line, soften the eyeliner, no hard edges anywhere. Same thing on the top. You should not be able to tell where your liner starts and stops on the lid. Closes out the look, connects the corners. One thing that you can do is go back and forth and really close the corner. It's helpful, like out here, to smoke out all the way into the corner and then circle underneath the eye right out here as well so that it's a true V shape. That can be really helpful for a smoky eye. Now we're gonna pop in your halo color. You get to decide how crazy do you want to go. If you're a little bit conservative, I'm going to have you take your transition color that you used up here, and that will be your halo. If you're a little bit more bold and daring, I'm going to have you start with a little bit of your intensifier color and then halo even further with your transition. When you're going bold, I would recommend that you kind of start softer and work your way into like a bigger halo. So I want precision and accuracy. I'm going to use a smaller brush for this move. I have my brow liner brush on deck right now. I'll be popping the black shimmer. God, I love that color. So freaking pretty. That's from the White Horse palette. It's like a shimmering black shade. I'm going to pop that on to the brow liner brush because it has the smallest brush head out of all of our collection. My placement here is that I'm putting it wherever I put the eyeliner on the top, and I'm pat pressing it in. So for those of you who were like skippy, you could see through it, and you felt like you needed more color deposited, especially out here in the corner, you're going to want to do this. Same thing on the bottom. Tap off any excess, and we're going to pat and press using that really, really tiny head of the brush and just do about 50% of the way in underneath the waterline. Essentially what we're creating is like a V shape. You're going along the lower lash line and really creating and carving in that V shape, and then going above the upper lash line. So when they meet in the corner, they're making a V, correct? Do you see what I'm saying? It's like this kind of a shape. So they should meet in the corner and V underneath the lash line and go over the lash line. Cool? Now let's blend that out. So I have a dry brush. There's nothing on this bad boy. If you need to double check and make sure that you have nothing on your brush, you do that. Do what it takes. Now I'm blending. Keep in mind, it's always place, then blend. Place, then blend. So I'm just making sure that I popped in this intensifier, and I'm making sure that it makes friends with the rest of the eye look. And if you end up having too much intensifier, you can always pop some in the crease as well. Like if you put on way too much black stuff or black, like for me, I'm using a black sparkle, and I'm going like, okay, if I put too much on there, I can go back and forth on the lash line, and I can also circle up and intensify the crease if I have nowhere to blend to. Bottom lash line, doing the same thing, and I'm just going back and forth with that eraser motion. You're probably going to have a nice big mess underneath your eyes for a minute, and that's totally okay. So I'm going through and just really softening out where I've got that intensifier, because I'm going with the hardest thing to work with, which is that sparkling black and black eyeliner. Last move, grab your transition shade and grab your precision crease brush. We're going to go in the under eye and really, really halo. What I mean by halo is when you've got like an angel, right? They've got that halo that goes around their head, like in the old paintings and churches, you know, like in Europe. It's like their head, it's like a disc of light that goes around it, right? So when I'm saying halo, you're taking your transition color and you're treating it like you're making like a disc underneath your lash line that's just haloing out a little bit bigger. It creates the illusion that your eye is larger. So if you have tiny eyes, it's going to make your eye look bigger. And you want to focus this on the outer half, maybe the outer 75% of the eye. Don't overlap onto your highlight. So precision crease brush. I personally am kind of like go big or go home with this, because we're going to clean up anyways. Make sure and connect in your outer corner. So all the way out here, really connect it. When you go in for cleanup, it's going to be okay if you've overdone it a little bit. I wrap around and hug it into the crease a little bit. We'll do the same thing on this side. Underneath the lash line, halo it out. I'm doing the outer corner of the eye, bringing it in about 75% of the way, and then wrapping up into the crease in the transition, just so that we have like a close to the corner. We're going to move into our final touches for eye, which are cleanup, and then we're going to re-highlight. So I have my makeup remover towelette. I'm going to fold it in half so that I've got like a nice crisp edge. So it's in half, my index finger's inside, and then I'm folding it one more time. So you've got like a crisp edge to work with right there. Now, your goal here is that you want to clean up all the shadow fall underneath here and minimize any eyeshadow that you feel is too big or too much for your look. The idea of cleanup is just that, okay, you got to see what it looks like big, and now you can minimize it to the size that you want and create an outer corner lift. Our goal here is we're going to clean up underneath and then scoop up towards the temple so that all this stuff that's down here gets erased. I've got my nice hard edge going on. I'm going to go underneath the eye and go with that little sharp corner and slowly glide across and minimize any shadow fall. If you need help, you can just like pop your fingertip there. Already it's looking better. slide across. Check your work, it's looking better. I'm gonna flip onto like a clean part. And then all the way in this outer edge, we're gonna give it a lift. Right out there. Nice and clean, nice and sharp. The outer edge lifts up towards the temple, so that minimizes like any look of aging. It just goes scoop up. There you go. Perfect. Does anyone else hate messes and feel relief now that you did that? Oh, I can breathe.